What is illegal but doesn't come across as creepy? Grooming underage teenagers, but as portrayed in 50s and 60s popular songs. It's a joke you downvoting turds law as examples. Hey Little Girl by D. Clark. I saw her standing there by the Beatles. Stray Cat Blues by the Rolling Stones. Good Morning Little Schoolgirl by the Grateful Dead. Christine 16 by Kiss. Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon by Neil Diamond. Happy Birthday Sweet 16 by Neil Sedaka. Young Girl by Gary Puckett. Alabama Song by The Doors. It started getting depressing, so I stopped looking for more zero. Urinating outside when public facilities are not available and you have to go. Now, I'm not saying flaunt it around, but I'm doing it discreetly. I believe in the States it can get you a sex offender charge. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, I know it is easy for men, but I bought my wife a urinal thingy and she can stand and pee too. One example of something that is illegal, that may not come across as creepy, is jaywalking. While it's against the law in many places to cross the street outside of designated crosswalks or against traffic signals, it may not necessarily be seen as creepy. However, it's still illegal and can pose risks to both pedestrians and drivers. Using someone else's login credentials to access online services or platforms without their permission. This might not seem creepy, especially if it's done casually among friends or family members, but it's still illegal and can violate terms of service agreements. Picking up trash from your neighbor's lawn, an unimproved property down the street, or anywhere that it's privately owned. Technically trespassing. But be nice to your neighbors and they usually won't mind. They might even appreciate it. Example could be underage drinking. While it's illegal for minors to consume alcohol in many places, it may not necessarily come across as creepy. However, it's still against the law and can have serious health and legal implications. Driving without insurance or with an expired tag, drug possession, improper waste disposal, parking on sidewalks, or blocking fire hydrants, cutting down a tree without a permit. I'm sure there's lots more non-creepy ones. Tax fraud. It's unethical usually, but nobody's ever been creeped out by tax fraud. If you had to be locked in a room with a criminal, the guy who fiddled his taxes is probably more scared of you than you are of him. Guess it's not actually illegal because you'd be leaving where it's illegal. But this came to mind. Seeking a medical treatment procedure in another country because your country doesn't allow it. Jaywalking. That depends on your country. In some countries is borderline unacceptable, but in others it's barely considered a transgression. That and pirating movies series. Robbing banks. Cutting tags off of mattresses. Speeding. Remodeling your house without a permit. Catching too many fish. Making loud noise at 3 in the morning, hitting a trash can slung over your shoulder like a drum with a walking staff, while dressed in a suit at the Lincoln Memorial. It's just disturbing the peace. Driving above the speed limit is illegal, but is often seen as a common practice, especially on highways where the speed limit may be perceived as too low. In some places in the US, it's illegal to feed the homeless. In some places, it's illegal to even give someone in a voting line a bottle of water. Any crime that doesn't involve a victim, really. Not sure how we can even justify making something illegal that doesn't produce a victim. Riding a bike on public sidewalks in some areas is a public no-no and can sometimes get you arrested. But it's not creepy by any means. What's with all of the what's illegal, not illegal should be legal. And what's X but isn't legal illegal posts. Wearing a belt in public. Acceptable. Not wearing a belt in public. Acceptable. Wearing a belt unbuckled in public. Creepy. Not coming to a complete stop at a stop sign when no one's around. Like a tiny crawl pace. Everyone does it. Don't lie, lol. Most people don't think that an unmarried adult couple living together is creepy or wrong, but it's illegal in Michigan. Any crime that's not creepy. Weird post. Basically every crime that doesn't involve doing something creepy to someone. Ignoring when you are supposed to turn in a direction without a legitimate reason as to why you can't go the other. I think most illegal things are not creepy. Like, any crime not related to sex or murder is probably not creepy. I would say taking care of all your local pedos takes away a lot of creepy and makes the world a better place. Watching anime on illegal platforms like Goggenheim does not seem to be creepy. Anime lovers, what do you think? Having a donkey in my bathtub after 7 p.m. Fuck you, Arizona. You can't chain me down with these arbitrary bylaws. Crossing street on red light, or without pedestrian crossing, when there ain't no cars coming. Yes, I do that. I drive around with other people's organs in my vehicle. Probably the worst way to describe my job. So many things. Most crimes are not creepy. Creepy is such a specific and odd word to choose here. Donating blood as a gay man. Not sure if it's illegal per se, but not allowed in most cases. Stealing from major corporations. I don't do it, but if I see it, I'm gonna mind my business. In Utah, polygamy is illegal, but is practiced everywhere and not considered creepy by most. Shoplifting, probably. I mean, it isn't like scary, but sure, if you're a shop owner, making your scooter 125cc, and only 50cc is allowed with a scooter's license. Watering my lawn 4 times a week, so it doesn't burn during California summers. Snorting coke out of my mother-in-law's navel ... Oh, hang on a second. Any minor crime that's not pervy, I suppose. I'm only creeped that shit. Shoplifting food. Nothing creepy about feeding yourself or your family. Eating a grape at a grocery store. Not that I've ever seen that. Traveling without a visa where you need it. Technically not creepy. In some states, a 17-year-old and 19-year-old having a relationship, beating up pedos. Illegal to purposely attack them. But not creepy. Drop-kicking a child out of self-defense. You gotta believe me. Doing LSD at Yellowstone Park in a campsite you reserved. Evading taxes isn't really that creepy. It's surely illegal.